we have so many businesses in South Africa or in the world, if I may say, but there are more than the business that we have that have failed before. So on today's video, we are going to outline four things that makes a business fail. Number one, which we have, is sales. No business succeed with sales. Sales is the one thing that makes sure that the business succeed, because without sales there's no money coming in the business, and when there's no money coming in the business, then the employees are not going to get paid. So you need to pay the employees. So the money that you make from the sales, you need to make sure that you pay your employees. So sales is one of the most important thing that we need to consider. So there are multiple ways on how to make your sales. So you can use social media to make your sales. So we have companies that are lazy to do social media. Social media is one of the crucial things nowadays to make sure that your business succeeds. We have so many business that decided to take a step forward to make sure that they make use of social media. I will give out examples in South Africa. We have a trip footwear. A trip footwear, it is where it is because of social media, because social media can be able to reach so many people, and it can be shocking. It can be shocking to the point whereby even people overseas, they can be able to know your brand without being in the same country as you are. So social media, especially when it comes to Instagram has so many users. It has more than 1 billion users that are using the Instagram each and every single day. So imagine if you have 1% of 1 billion people who are using Instagram, and then you grab that 1% out of 1 billion. So you can still make a fortune out of that. So make sure that if you have a business, just make sure that maybe you transfer your business, or maybe you franchise your business into social media. So I spoke about Instagram because it's one of the things that I actually studied. But then not only social media, you can be able to make sales through Instagram, you can be able to make sales through YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, and so many other social media that we have. We have so many. We have also live streaming. You can also make a fortune out of live streaming using your business, advertising your business into the live streaming of other people. If you don't have a fortune of followers online, you can be able to buy people so that they can be able to promote your business. So one of the crucial sales that you can be able to make is to make sure that you make use of social media. So sales are very important. That's one thing that you need to make sure that you acquire when you think about business. So number two, what we have is preparation. Do the research, know your industry. So there are so many people that think about the idea of starting a business, but after that, they are not prepared. They don't do the research. They don't know the industry. So what they do, they open up their business without knowing what to do and what to do. They already have the end plan, but they don't have the process on how to reach the end plan. So one thing that you need to do is to think about the end goal, but then make a research of the process in order to reach that goal. So we have so many people that start business thinking about the end goal, but not thinking about the process. So once they experience the difficulties of the process in order to reach that end goal, they ended up giving up. So make sure that you do your own research. Do your own research by going to other people who are in the same industry that you are in. Ask them questions. How did they do it? What are the difficulties that they came across? How did they able to overcome those challenges? Also, go to social media. Guys, social media is one of the things that I will always talk about because there's a lot of information. For me, so many things that I'm learning them through social media, especially when it comes to YouTube. YouTube is a school itself. Everything that you need right there, it's right over there. You just have to make sure that you do your own research. So go to YouTube, search whatever the industry that you are in, search for the challenges that people come across, search for what should you do when you start, search for what to do when you come across something, like search for anything. So while you are in the process, you're still going to come across the difficulties. So whenever you come across the difficulties, ask people that who knows the industry very well. Some people will be selfish, they are not going to help you. It's fine, that's part of the process. You are not going to get it easy. So you need to make sure that you are fit enough to face all the challenges that going to come across you. So be prepared for anything that can happen. Don't ever give up. Preparation is one of the things that is very crucial when it comes to trade. Don't just go there without knowing the industry. Make sure that at least you know 50%. Then the other 50%, or maybe the other 40 or 30, you will know it while you're still doing it. Remember, one of the things that makes you be wise enough is because of learning while you do something. So if you're learning without doing something, then it's going to be very hard for you to keep on elevating your skills. So you need to be able to be prepared when you start a business. There are multiple things that you can do while you prepare yourself as a businessman to start a business. One of the things is to do your research and understanding. You need to make sure that you research, like I said, the industry that you are in, and understand it critically, so what this industry is all about. And the other things that you can be able to do is to create a study plan. Develop a structured study plan that you are going to follow. What are your plans to reach your certain goals that you want to reach? So if you don't have a plan, then your business is going to fail. Make sure that you have a structured plan on what to do and what not to do to reach your milestones. And the other one that you can be able to do as a preparation is to practice and application. When we speak about practice and application, we speak about putting your plans into a practical to see how this thing is going to work. You just testing the water. You test it. You don't go full magic. You just testing with a little bit of anything that you wanna sell, or maybe you wanna sell fat cakes. You start with 3 maybe fat cakes. You don't bake a fully fat cakes. You bake only 3, and you go to the other people and let them taste them and see their reaction. If their reaction shows that they are satisfied about your product, that's when you escalate or you elevate your product. So you need to make sure that you practice an application. That's what you do. Practice an application. That's when you take a little bit of your product to see how the audience or customers or potential customers are going to react. And then thereafter, we are having a feedback alteration. A feedback alteration is whereby you check whether the customers or the potential customers or the audience, how do they react based on your product. So once you see a positive feedback, you know that you need to escalate. Once you see a negative feedback, you ask them. You don't just let it and say it failed. No, you ask them, what's the problem? Why are you reacting like this? What do you think I should improve? So they are going to tell you, I don't like this. The reason why I don't like this is because it's this, is this, is this. So when you find a common mistake that everyone is speaking about, that's when you have to go back and fix that common mistake and come back to the very same people, give them and ask them, how is the product? Then thereafter they will tell you, oh, this time around it's okay. That's when you're going to take your product, escalate it, and do a massive business that you have been planning for. If you can follow the preparation, which is research and understanding, which is create a study plan, which is practice and application, which is feedback and alteration, just know that once you've done that properly, then your things are going to be correct. So number 3, what we have is an effort. People don't put effort enough to start their businesses. You can't say you are starting a businesses, but then you are still waking up at 8 o'clock. If you start a business, you need to make sure that you wake up early and then you go to bed late. The reason is because you need to put all your effort based on what you want to achieve. Then thereafter, after the business is now successful, that's when you will be able to relax and also dedicate other jobs to other people, transfer other jobs to other people. If you have a company and also you want to put it to social media, and then at the beginning you're still going to be an editor, you do copywriting, like everything. But when the business starts generating money, you need to make sure that you distribute other things to other people to do them, because you'll never do it alone. Once the business is picking up, it is going to be overwhelming. So make sure that at the beginning you work hard, you sleep less, and then you make sure that most of the hours that you are waking up, you are working on your business. This is your business, this is your legacy. It is something that is going to last longer, and also you are going to leave it for your children. So make that sacrifice. Remember, we as Black people, we are not growing up inside the family that has a business. So you are the first person to start there. Make sure that you put effort. Effort is one of the things that you need to put at the beginning. When times goes on, things will be a bit easier, but at the beginning it will always be hard. But remember, keep the effort. And then there are four things that I'm going to speak about under efforts. Some of them I've already spoken about. I just want to outline those four things. Number one, to show that you are putting an effort, you need to be consistent at work. You need to make sure that if you are saying that you are waking up at 7 o'clock every day, at 7 o'clock you wake up. That's consistency. You need to follow your plan, that every day this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to avoid this, avoid this, avoid this. Each and every single day, once you master your routine, that's called consistency. Once you become consistent at doing what you have to do each and every day, then your business is going to succeed, because even when the customers going to come, they're going to get the very same experience that they have been getting for the past month, to see that you are very consistent. Remember, when we say you have to be consistent, we are not saying that you are not going to develop or coming with something new. Be consistent. Once you master consistency, that's when you are going to improve your product or service. And then number two, overcoming challenges. Challenges are one of the things that makes people fail when it comes to businesses. People, when they come across challenges, they tend to give up. They tend to think that is the end of the business, which is not true. What you need to do when you come across the challenges, you need to think about, how am I going to beat this challenge? Remember, each and every challenge that you come across, there is solution somewhere. So what you need to do is to find the solution based on that challenge, to make sure that you beat that challenge, to overcome it, and also to make sure that you get what you want. So whenever you see a challenge, just know, even if you don't see anything that can solve, but remember, the salvation is out there. You just need to make sure that you look around up until you find something that is going to solve that challenge or overcome that challenge. Number three, commitment and dedication. Commitment and dedication is still maybe slightly so the same as consistency. Once you become committed, you are going to be consistent, because you're going to put all your life into your service or your product. Once you pour your soul into your product and services, then you are going to be consistent. Then you are going to be dedicated to what you offer to other people. So it goes along with consistency, and also commitment and dedication. It goes along. Those things you need to make sure that you put your heart onto them. And then number four is focus and concentration. People tend to lose concentration, especially when at the beginning of the business they seem to be dedicated, they seem to be consistent, they seem to be committed. But once the business pick up, they lose focus, because they think they are already made it, which is wrong. You need to make sure, even if you see millions of thousands of dollars, you need to make sure that you stay focused and concentrated. One of the things that makes people lose concentration is to think that they already made it. One of the things that makes people lose concentration is the girls. They always tend to go after the girls because they have money, and girls love money. Once they have eaten your money, they will be gone. You will be left alone. Make sure that you concentrate, make sure that you focus on your work. Number four, which is the last thing, is brain. You need to be smart to start a business. You have to be smart to learn this stuff and be curious. Curiosity is one of the things that makes people be smart. I will tell you, most people who are curious about everything that is happening in the world are the most smartest. Someone who's curious can see something and say, I wonder why these people has made this, or I wonder why this thing function like this. I wonder why. Once you become curious about the industry that you are in, you are one day going to be an expert, because you are not going to let anything that you don't know pass by. You will want to know, why is that happening? What's the main reason because of that? Like you will want to know everything. So if you want to be smart, make sure that you are always curious. One of the functionality inside the brain is memory. So you need to have a long-term memory and also a short-term memory. When you speak about a short-term memory, we speak about the immediate tasks that you need to do. You need to remember them at all the time. And also for a long-term task that you need to do for over a period of years or something, your plans, you need to be able to remember it so that you can know what you are working on. Another functionality inside the brain is thinking and problem solving. If you can't think as a businessman, there's no opportunity for you to grow. If you can't solve a problem, there's no opportunity for you to grow. Remember, as a businessman, if you want to be successful, guaranteed so, you need to be able to solve a problem. Look for any problem in your community or anywhere. After seeing the problem, solve the problem. That's how you become rich. In order for you to become rich is one of the simple things that you need to do. Look for any problem that you can see inside your community and solve the problem. Once you solve the problem, you become rich. As a businessman, you always look for a problem that you can be able to solve. Once you master that, look for a problem where there is community and then solve the problem, then it's done. You are going to be a successful businessman. And also, as a businessman, your brain need to know when to focus and also to pay attention. Remember, as a businessman, you are not always going to be on top. You can be able to be on top and still be or taking advice from the people at the bottom. So sometimes you need to pay attention at the bottom. What's happening at the bottom? Yes, at the surface, you can be able to see and then monitor everything. But you need to remember someone at the bottom can be able to help you out. So never underestimate anyone. So your brain need to make sure that you are able to focus and pay attention at all areas, not at the very same level that you are. You need to go at the low level and check how do they do things, and also how are you going to be able to elevate that. So brain is one of the important things that you need to be able to program it to work on your advantage. Remember, we control our brain, but if you let your brain control you, is going to be one of the worst things. You need to tell your brain what to do and do what you told your brain to do. So we have spoken about 4 things that can make a business fail, which is sales, which is preparation, which is effort, and also which is brain. So make sure that you work on that 4 things. If you can master those 4 things and work on them properly, I guarantee you that even if your business is not going to expand exponentially or maybe become that huge, but you are going to be able to have a sustainable business that is going to be able to stand on itself. Please make sure that you subscribe. Comment down below what you think about this video. If it's a trash, you can be able to tell me down below on the comments so that I can improve myself and also my knowledge. And please, let's hit a like. Let's give this video at least 300 likes. That's all I'm asking for. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you can be notified next time I drop if you like this kind of videos. See you on the next one.